What's up, Banter family? What's up, Banter community? I hope everyone is doing fantastic today. I see we've had a nice 2-3 days of greenness in the markets, and it's all about this Bitcoin dominance making its way down. Even though Bitcoin has been quite, slow, gradually making its way, we're getting a big acceleration to the downward side in the dominance, which is now creating the altcoins to start to pop up, and we're starting to see a lot of these altcoins popping up one by one. And I just want to make sure that my sound is good here. Let's just have a look before we start off here. Just make sure. Here we go. That should be better. Okay. So welcome everyone. So obviously we've got the dominance now making its way down. Altcoins starting to wake up. What is next in the market? What is happening? We're getting to a point now where Bitcoin has to start making some sort of decision in the market. But a good thing is that they're not scared to start allowing the alts to start coming back to life. So that is a good sign. Usually we know when Bitcoin's really, really weak, Bitcoin takes over. And the alts just do absolutely, they get drained. They don't do much at all. They just hold back. And now that we can see, even though Bitcoin's taking its time, the market's still moving. We're still sitting here today, and if we have a look here, this is a decent day. We can see that the alts are really starting to explode. I can't believe how well this KCS has actually done. It's over 90% in 2 days. So that's done really, really well. But the main thing is we're starting to get a shift, and we're starting to get a wake up now from the altcoins. And that's all because of this dominance. So what to look forward to? Guys, make sure you watch till the end. We have Cheds the man coming in. We're going to be going through Bitcoin, going through a lot of the coins that we have been basically in for the last few days. Great profits from a lot of them. And we have a lot. And you can see how the list is starting to expand now. So now we can see that now that the market's starting to get somewhere, and we're starting to get some clear, I wouldn't say clear indications, but we're starting to get some really good bullish indications, especially from the altcoin side. I am never afraid to now start expanding a bit. And you remember what we are doing with your trading portfolios, your short-term portfolios. We are in and out for a job. We are finding coins that are going to make us good money. Make that, set it into our long-term, buy the good coins that will survive a bear market. So we understand that through this whole little cycle we've had the last 2 months, it was just about repositioning, just about learning about when it is time to make the money again. We are going to make sure that we are skilled. And we're going to make sure that we have a full system when this all comes again. And right now, it can come at any time. And when that all comes again, we want to make sure that we are skilled and we know what we're doing. And we make sure that we remember it's easy to make money in crypto. It's hard to keep it. And that's where the big educations come through now in the last month or so for us to get ready for when the time to make money again comes. And we are starting to get there. We're starting to get a nice push out from the alts now. We are ready and we are prepped. So guys, the first thing I want to do before we start off, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow myself on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper, follow Crypto Manran on Twitter as well. What will this do, guys? It'll give you the notifications when we are going live. We'll give you very key information on our Twitter pages as well, anything that's happening on the show. We've all heard now. We've got big news happening with the school, which we are launching. The announcement comes through later on today. Ran is back. The man is back. Let me make sure it's the right side. The man is back today. We have been doing a show a little bit later. It's very, very exciting. Good little break. It's time to now hit it strong. It's time to get the fundamentals going. Remember, this channel brings you fundamentals and TA every day and education to you guys every single day. The duo is back in town, and we're ready to take this strong and to make sure that for the remaining of the year, we are educated, we make money, and we change as many lives as possible. So hitting that like, hitting that subscribe button, show us love, show us the support. We love our community. Look at our videos, look at our messages, look at our testimonials. We are doing something, and it's amazing to see how our team pulls back together. And the last thing, guys, we have the banter bags as well. When we get to 500,000 subscribers, we will be giving these banter bags away to you guys. The market's turning bullish. It means we can start filling some of these bags. And when we get to 500,000 subscribers, we'll be choosing, we'll be selecting, and we'll be giving that away to you guys. So I think let's get into it. I hope you guys have all had, it's been quite crazy the last few days. I hope you guys are enjoying that, we're starting to get somewhere and we're starting to get some trades right and we're starting to get these things. And at the end of the day, that's all that it's taking right now. That the whole reason of this whole little sideways phase was exactly for that. To understand more or less what you're doing and understanding how important patience is for that entry. Stop trying to force the market. Stop trying to force these things to happen. The chart does show you and it erases emotion completely. So you need to keep the emotion out of your head. Whatever the chart tells you, we need to trade. Your risk management, your take profits, these are all big things. So as we start off, guys, we are going to start off with our main man, Cheds, in the house. Let's bring him in. Let's show some love. Cheds, buddy, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Banter fam.
Nice and early there by you.
I'll wake up for you, man, anytime.
Appreciate it, buddy. What's the time there now?
Yeah, just 6:30, maybe 6:15. Folks, like you said, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It's going to help that video show up in the search results. This Banter crew, they're doing a lot of good work, so show your love.
Brilliant, buddy. Brilliant. So what are we thinking, buddy? What are we thinking? Alt starting to show a little bit of life. Bitcoin still fighting on its on this little crucial stage at the moment, in this little channel at the moment. But alt's coming to life. Well, what are we thinking, buddy? What is your thoughts on the market right now?
So, alts, you're going to have a little room for alts to start to bounce and quote unquote come to life, but it's all within the greater context of this Bitcoin consolidation phase. And if we look at, and we'll look at charts later, the stronger alts, they're testing their 50-period simple moving average, and a couple of them are closing up above it. But they're going to be vulnerable. I don't know that it's the right time to play alts. Maybe it's a different style. I'm a little bit more conservative. I still think Bitcoin has a bear bias because we're still trading in a long consolidation channel below the key level, 42, 43K. We're below MA50. We're below MA200. Equity markets feel like maybe they're topping off as well. We're seeing crazy divergence with like NASDAQ, like the indexes are making all-time highs and the individual stocks are not. I don't know that Bitcoin would survive like a 10% drawdown on the SPY and the Q. So all those things make me more cautious. I want Bitcoin to be bullish. So what am I looking for, right? How did we know? And if I can jump to the chart for just a minute, I'll kind of walk you through what I'm thinking. If Fred can fire me up here in the chart, but
we'll get it up there. There we go.
Obviously,
there we go.
This beautiful move, these series of upper to lower Bollinger moves, this beautiful acceleration, all these new highs. And really, we got an early warning sign, Sheldon. Back in April 19th, we had that first close below the MA50. The orange line, the simple moving average, meaning all 50 periods have an equal weighting. That was a big clue for me. That was our first clue, right, Sheldon?
And the lower low, yeah,
lower low. And we had the first close below the 50. We had to go all the way back to like 8K, before, So what I want to see, now we have 49 bars, right? So classical charting and Japanese candlesticks, really anything, the longer you spend in a consolidation range, the more significant the break of that range will be. So we're really paying attention to whichever way we break. We see the moving average, the 50, starting to flatten out. If we get a close above the MA50, technically speaking, that would be a big sign of weakening bear force, because we had a bear force to bring us here to this bear rectangle. We had that big flush. We had the violation of the key support resistance flip level 42, 43. We're below the 200. But if we start to close above the 50, that would be a sign of strength. And we're seeing that in a couple alts. Maybe we'll take a look at that in a minute. I'll just do that real quick. We're seeing that already. Like, for example, Luna is one I've been watching. Luna has this really tight Bollinger squeeze with the strong accumulation, the on balance volume reflecting that accumulation, the volume on the green versus the red candles, and it's closing above the MA50. So that's a little sign for bulls, but they still have some work to do. We still need to clear these highs, the May and early June highs and the MA200. Same thing with Uni. Uni had been one that had really respected Sheldon, really respected that MA50. We could see that here, respecting the 50, respecting the 50. Then we started to break down below it. So that's something I'd be looking for as well, is these alts and for Bitcoin to get above their 50, but they also have the 200 there as well. So we're seeing some signs, but it's still within the context of the relative weakness of Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin trading below the MA200 For example, look at Ethereum, where is it? Ethereum above the MA200, right? So we're still seeing that relative weakness of Bitcoin, which could potentially be a drag down on the other alts, which makes me want to be cautious. If I'm going to play an alt, I'm playing ones with relative strength, like Matic, like Uni, like Dot, like Sol, ones that had been strong while Bitcoin was strong. I'm not messing around with the weaker ones. EOS, I'm not messing around with anything that hasn't even touched their MA20, their middle Bollinger yet. So in this type of environment, I'm looking through charts. I'm looking for relative strength and weakness. Here's Dot. Dot setting up for a potential buy signal on a 17 break. We're seeing the price rejected here many times, but it hasn't quite happened yet. You know, it hasn't broken the 20 yet. So I have a bunch of charts that I have levels marked that would suggest to me kind of a momentum shift. We're not quite there yet because I'm still slightly bear biased on Bitcoin. We have
because it's still Bitcoin. I think that that's still the one that's holding back a lot of the alts right now. I think the market is also starting to learn to not get too excited with the alts until Bitcoin is at some sort of level. But if Bitcoin, so what we're sort of matching down to is we need Bitcoin to get above the 36 to 37,000, and then a decent small little retrace can happen. You know, it's just to get that firstly the higher high in play, but we got to break through that portion over there. Definitely. And we do have a nice time frame, smaller wedge also playing out there, which is good. But you know what the biggest things about me is, you know, we keep going on, and a lot of people have been talking about going to the 20K regions and these zones. The difference with what I'm thinking is something cannot just go in a 100% straight line, my opinion. And if we are going to go to those levels, I still expected a higher retrace than that 42 from Bitcoin before we go down to those levels. It doesn't make sense how it can just continue, because we've never actually had any sort of, we've had a small push to the 42 region. But if you look at all the resistances that are on the top left there, you know, the ones that are there sitting at the 50,000, go a little bit higher to those lows. Yeah, if you use those low ranges, you know, that's usually the continuation exactly there. You know, something like that would make sense to get to that region and then maybe make its way down to the 20, you know, to just, the only thing like you're talking about now is the stock markets. The stock markets, if they collapse in now, I agree with you 100%. We have to be crunching up on those stop losses. The thing is, we have traders and we got investors. Now, for the two different views, you know, there's two different ways you got to think of this now. Because as an investor, you know, where is your sort of alarm bells? And it needs to be worth it for investor. Remember, as an investor, you don't want to be playing around. You don't want to be a trader. You want to be holding these coins at the right point. So it really needs to be worth it for you to be getting out of your Bitcoin or your you know what I mean, any of your actual coins as an investor, to be getting their crucial level. So, you know, we're sort of at that stage now with Bitcoin. The main thing is I don't see why the alts would start showing quite a bit of life now in the market. Because usually when Bitcoin's really, really unstable at those points, usually the dominance is sitting with it. The fact that dominance is going against Bitcoin, and even though it's at a crucial level, I don't know, it gives me a little bit of, because what happens when that dominance bounces? It can either be a crash or, no, I wouldn't say a crash, but a strong pullback in the market, definitely, because the alts are growing quicker. But that could also be a big key indication for Bitcoin to break those resistances. You know, we've got to drop that dominance a bit, get that dominance down. Then the alts are going to sit flat for a week and it can be Bitcoin time. You know, there's so many scenarios right now.
I want to jump in. You said so many great things there. First of all, I don't even use the dominance chart that much because it can go up or down for different reasons. So I really just look at Bitcoin, then I look at altcoins. And I feel like human nature is we want maximum gains. So people like to play altcoins. They want a 5-10x. And you can 5-10x Luna more than you're going to 5-10x Bitcoin, for example. So anytime Bitcoin pauses, people say, oh, that's the bottom. I'm jumping back into my favorite alt. And you get all these mean reversion bounces, all these relief rally bounces on these alts. But, you know, unless Bitcoin is ready to turn the corner, it's not going to happen. I was just, while you were talking, had that 4-hour MA200. That's a level to watch on Bitcoin. We were just talking about that blue line, support into resistance, into resistance, into resistance. So that's something to watch as well. I don't see us going to 50K yet, Sheldon. 50K, you can't skip over. You can't skip over 42, 43K. When you have a significant level that should be support that's broken down, that's resistance. You can't look past it. in my humble opinion, that 42, 43 key level, that's a massive, massive, massive level. If we get back up above it and then go back below it, I mean, forget about it. Like this thing's going sub 10K. Like you don't want that. I think, you know, trends tend to continue. We have a bear move into the bear rectangle, you know, measured move, taking the height of that rectangle, puts us low 20K. I think low 20K would be a very high confidence buy area. There's other things people are looking at outside of the chart, on-chain data and stock to flow. I don't look at that. I look at the price. It all works its way into the price. I'm sure there's things I'm missing out if I knew more, but I focus on the price. Go ahead, Phil.
No, and the only thing that's obviously making me quite, you know, I do suspect a big move is coming at some point. We will detect if it's done, but that volume, I don't know about you, but that volume is very low still. You know what I mean? So where we are sitting right now, exactly. But when that volume comes in, we're moving in one direction quite strong. And it's either going to be that big shakeout event to the downward side, or it's going to be that pump that can take us to that $42,000 level. And that's where I see the dominance bounce. So either way, if Bitcoin makes its way to the 25K, dominance bounce. Either way, if Bitcoin goes to the 42,000K, dominance bounce. But when usually the dominance is running against Bitcoin is usually, especially throughout the last year, is when the markets are a little bit more bullish in that way. So usually so usually when we are getting this, because the dominance has looked seriously weak. And the only reason I track it so much is because I know when to trade alts. And the last few days on the alts, we've gotten some really good entries and really good gains. And I think we're at that sort of crucial level. Now, let's do two scenarios here. If Bitcoin now breaks 37, 38, the dominance, you know, we have a support and it's collapse. What else would you look at as short term? You know, screw, you know, we are going to make sure we have stop losses. I'm going to go through that straight after here. We'll have stop losses in play to prep for the worst, of course. But markets turn bullish now. What's looking good to you? What are you?
Yeah, it's a great point. And again, thank you for having me. And hit that like and subscribe, folks. You want to think about the concept of relative strength. So you can look at this in bounces. Every time the market pulls down, some things will bounce, and initially they'll be able to recapture this MA20. They'll be able to recapture the EMA 34. So you can look through alts to determine what is relatively strong. And why that's important is when the market is moving, those are the ones that will have more sustained bounces. So to answer your question directly, I'd be looking to play what had been bullish beforehand: DOT, Uni, ADA, YFI, Sol. Stick with the strong ones. Just because your coin hasn't been strong, maybe find a different coin, or define your risk. Go with strength. You want, it's like you're going to the club, and you want to go to the club with the most action. You want to have the best chance to meet someone you're looking for, or the best music, the best DJ, whatever. Go where the best action is. Stick with the relative strength. Those altcoins I just listed would probably be where I would be looking in your scenario.
What are your thoughts on these exchange tokens? You know what I mean? Like FTX token showing some strength. The Kucoin token, 90-something% in 2 days. This is obviously, there's a lot going on with BINANCE right now, and I think people are starting to diversify now into the other. They definitely want to look out for. Obviously, the Kucoin token's gone now. You never enter after 100% pump. But something's happening. You know what I mean? There's
exchange tokens. Exchange tokens are really interesting. It's a little bit of inside baseball because you have to kind of know what's going on. Certainly, we saw that rise of BNB, the BNB USD from like 200 to 600 or something. I have it just up here. I mean, this thing was a ridiculous run, and from what I understand, it's because it was used for DeFi, and it was a token that was used to do swapping and wrapping and bacon wrap, or whatever it was, all this stuff that, I don't focus on. That's why you don't hear me talking about it. But my good buddy Big Jonas looks at it. I think there's something to be said for these exchange tokens. Look at what is the FTX? They're out there buying arenas, they're buying countries. Something like that, might make sense to kind of to look into. I wouldn't be buying like Bitrex's coin or something that doesn't have a lot of volume. I think it's called Leo, off the top of my head. I think like BNB, this is still pretty strong, relatively speaking. You can see the price has respected that 200 period moving average. We're right up to that. It comes to that MA50. You definitely want to see it above 420 for any kind of a sign of acceleration. but I'd be looking to buy the dip on this one, kind of in this lower support range, perhaps. So in terms of exchange tokens, if you're going to play them, probably play the ones on the exchanges with the most volume, something like the BINANCE coin, something like
BINANCE coin, Kucoin, the FTX token, and Huobi maybe as well. I know those all do pretty well, and volume-wise.
Yeah, it's better than, don't you think it's a safer, I think to answer your question, I think that's a safer bet than some other random coin, because it has a use case. I mean, and most of them don't have a use case.
Exactly. No, exactly. Yeah. And I see you mentioned Matic. Have you got any? I think as a close on Matic, I'd love to see your intake here because it's one that we've been looking at for good entry. Are you still waiting for another drop into that zone?
Yeah, I want to buy.
If it doesn't, let's say Bitcoin turns bullish, what will be your key little breakout zone, or what would be your?
Yeah. Well, you can employ a 2-level breakout filter in something like Matic, where you can draw your diagonal, you can draw your falling resistance, and then you want to use a 2nd-level filter. You look for that horizontal break. So you can see the price. We want to listen to the price. The price is telling us this is a short-term pivot level at $1.25, $1.27. I want to see it recapture these highs for me to start to initiate a long. I would probably put my entry right around there, and I would define my risk maybe around like 118. So that would be a potential long scenario. I'd either be doing that or waiting for a sweep somewhere in these lows, because we have relative strength in Matic. The price is still trading above the MA200. So I want to buy an uptrend, something that's uptrending. I want to buy a dip in an uptrend. So I'd be looking to buy somewhere in this demand area, somewhere ideally confluence with the rising MA200. So I either want it around like 90 cents, 95, or I'd want to buy in a break of like $1.25, Sheldon, for Matic.
Okay, great. So as you drew that diagonal, what is a lovely way that I like to, because you also then look at the horizontal break of the high. That's great.
Yeah.
What's nice about that always is when we get the break of that trend and we make that higher high, we usually have a smaller retest that comes down. It just tests those previous highs as a thing, and that creates a lovely zone. Because then what it does is, we got to hold those levels, and your stop loss then becomes nice and easy to crunch up, because you know the key levels that you got to hold. Okay, brilliant. So you would say, a lot of those tokens, I got some here, Wi-Fi, I definitely have a chart on for that. Solana, definitely. AAVE, I see, has done brilliantly the last few days.
Yeah.
Luna as well is looking beautiful. Cake and Sushi, I see DeFi is breaking quite strong. DeFi is looking, it's looking really, really good.
Yeah, those have been really good. Those will kind of, that's not the right one. Those will kind of come back and forth, in and out. They come in and out of favor. If we remember, DeFi ran really early, was about a year ago. I think DeFi was incredibly strong last summer. And then it has these phases where it's dead, and then it comes back, and it's just unbelievable. So I think DeFi.
Do you buy breaks of your Bollinger Bands? Everyone keeps seeing your Bollinger Bands in play there. When you start breaking out of that band, or that band starts to expand to the upward side, what little, what I mean? What does one look for when using those Bollinger Bands?
That's a brilliant question, honestly, because I was actually having this debate with a friend yesterday. I kid you not, because I was reading about this. I was reading about it in a textbook, and I was saying that some schools of thought have you buying on the break of the upper Bollinger Band, but I have to work in the concept that that's also nearing overbought. You want Japanese candlestick reversal signals at the upper. You have to look at context. Ideally, you would buy a break of the upper, and when it's Bollingers are tight, like with Luna. We were back looking at Luna a moment ago. We saw how tight the Bollinger Bands were on Luna. I promise you, it's right up here somewhere. So the Bollingers are tight. This is a good situation where maybe you'd buy an upper Bollinger break, because when the Bollingers are wide, it's been rising, but you want to buy a break, but you also.
So you want to see that squeeze. You want to see the Bollinger Band start to tighten down. Okay, and then you also have a horizontal break. So that's already too good.
But the issue here, Sheldon, with Sushi, with any kind of break, you want to look up above. You don't want to break into resistance. We're breaking into the MA50. We're breaking into this MA200. So that makes it a little bit more tenuous, a little more difficult or dangerous. And, we're only halfway in this candle, so we are seeing a little bit of a profit taking. We see these two upper shadows. Maybe we'll end up putting in some kind of a shooting star here. So we're already seeing some early weakness. It's only halfway through the candle. So when you're buying on an upper Bollinger break, you want to be careful that there's not something just above. When you think about the breakout, let's say if I had some type of a like a bull flag and it was doing this, if you had a big resistance level up above, that's going to cap the upside. So you want to look for situations where you have something like a bull flag and maybe the resistance is up here. So you can make that full measured move of the height of the flag.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, I get you. Okay, brilliant. Okay, buddy. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the work. Thank you for all of that. Are you happy to be on once in a while? I'm very happy to have you on whenever to come share the wisdom, go through some charts. I appreciate it, buddy. So to narrow it down, you know what I mean? The ones that were doing well before all of this happened and the ones that have been bouncing back strong, stick to those coins. And I think that was a big thing that you've said today. You know what I mean? They are the ones that are showing continuous strength whenever the market does turn a little bit bullish. And I think those are the ones. Don't go for non-fundamentals. Don't go for these little coins that aren't. The time's not there just yet. We know in a proper bull cycle, everything goes mad. That's fine. But for now, you got to be straight. You got to strategize properly and make sure that the time will come again where we can diversify and go into a few. But right now, the ones that show strength, the ones that have been working with, those are the ones we keep looking at. Brilliant.
It's exactly right. I'm really happy to be here. I love being here. It's a great program. I love the banter fam. Just if I could plug, check out my book, of course, Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. I have a free video series on YouTube. Look at Cheds Trading. I'm doing one chapter at a time, so check that out.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. And what's your Twitter at there? We will get your handle up there as well.
Big Cheds on Twitter. And I'm at Small Sheldon as well. That's my other account.
Brilliant.
Thank you,
Cheds, buddy. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you again soon.
All right, take care, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. What's up, Banter family? Let's get into it. Freddie, get those charts up. Let's get going. Let's go see what's happening. First big clue today is we are getting on our total 2, which means it's the market cap of the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin. This is a nice break, higher high in play. So we know at any point, a small test or anywhere in the hovering of these zones is okay, perfectly fine. But this is a very, very key indication. Great indication to say that we are starting to get momentum. Bitcoin now, let's have a look there quickly. Where Bitcoin is sitting at. Bitcoin, I have this little sort of beautiful support in play. Every time we are dropping, we are touching the support. So I know my danger zone. Remember, I've been saying since yesterday, below 30, I don't want to go. When I see Bitcoin starting to go below 30 or anywhere in these regions, I tighten up all my stop losses on my alts because I know the significance that if we drop this level, it's very easy that we can come down to these levels. Very, very much. So right now, it's simple. Let's not make trading complicated. Let's not make it difficult. We have a trend line, which means whenever you have a structured emergency line, trade the damn market because we know when it's. But remember that every time we touch supports and we hit these support zones, these are the best entries because we know where to structure our stop loss. Very, very simple. Because if we are going to bounce there, this is exactly where we're going to bounce. And when we come down with test, we're going to do this. This is how it works. We want to be catching bottoms. That's how it works. Why? Because stop losses are near. And we are tracking the momentum as we move upwards. So what am I wanting from Bitcoin now? Bitcoin, guys. Let's cheer it on. Let's get everyone going again. Let's get the hype going. I want to say hype going, but get the momentum flowing again. Bitcoin, please get above 36,000. Get us out of this zone because what we want from Bitcoin is the breakout, the higher high, the test, and the continuation up. Now, remember, I was talking now with Cheds now to say that there's possibilities of us making our way to the 50s. That's much later. Right now, I still want this zone. I still want Bitcoin to get to the $42,000 to the $45,000 region. The 200 MA is there. Everything is showing us to that area. All we need now is the break of this resistance point as well. Now, what have we done? We've made it very simple for ourselves. We haven't made trading difficult right now. Why? Because we have an emergency bell. Bitcoin breaks that, breaks 30. We make a lower low because it's very easy. We can go down to the 30 to the 20s. We know that. So it means anytime we get here, all I do is put a few trend lines in here and I put my alarms in play. That's danger zone. Until we cross danger zone, I don't care. I'm trading the damn market because if I have a look, something is happening. Something is definitely happening in the market. And this is when we need to be focusing and making sure we remember we work our damn asses off for one entry, but we can hold that entry for a long time. So Bitcoin, we got the emergency line, we got the breakout line. I want to see Bitcoin close in the next day or two above 36 to 37, get the test and continue up. Now, if dominance is creeping down, you can see I still have this main zone. I got a support for dominance and I got a resistance. Okay. Now we've been collapsing and we had our supports there. We said when we broke there, the alts. We're going to start getting some laugh and we are getting the strong exaggeration down. Now, the only thing is dominance is getting to a point where it's a very key support level. Okay, so we still have a possible downside for the alts to continue this little run of 1% to 2% from the dominance. Okay, great. But it means that at any point we can get a bounce in the dominance. Now, what we want to see when this bounce happens is we want to see this. I would love to see, as we are creeping, Bitcoin's making its way up, dominance continues to the downward side, right? Then as we get the bounce in dominance, will be this little pullback over here, this pullback here, the test, and then it's Bitcoin time for a little while because Bitcoin needs to break. It's time for the eyes to go back on Bitcoin to get it where it needs to be. So doesn't mean the alts, remember, just because even if it turns to Bitcoin time, the alts are still going to grow with Bitcoin. The fact is, look where we're getting our entries. There's our entry for Uni. Because if Uni continues this ride, look where we are sitting. Look at our damn entries. From the lows of this whole dump, have a look at that. If I jump to the daily now, look where we have bought. If this turns bullish now for the next 3, and it made, I'm not saying everything's going to go absolutely berserk, but it takes 3 months now to gradually make its way back up to those highs. Do you see where our entries are? Do you see how it took us damn 2 months of fighting the market? But if this is the bullish scenario and the market turns bullish, look where we have entered. We are literally in at the damn bottom. And that's the whole power of understanding. It takes a lot of effort to get your entry. But when you get it, it becomes damn easy. And then you're going to fight the ghost in your head to tell you when to take damn profits. But for now, you can see where we are catching these. So if Bitcoin now makes its way to the 42K region and that dominance stays weak in the zones, guys, we're going to get a killer move from the alts. And why I'm saying that is there's still so much imbalance sitting in these areas. There's still so much areas to show that even if we are still a little bit bearish high time frame, I want to see the up here and then we can go down. Which means that where we have been taking a lot of these trades, guys, looking at 100% trades, 50% trades, we are seeing that the market is starting to give money again. Where previously it's just been taking. So understand the simple strategy of what we're using and where we are trading. So where we're looking at with Uni now, Uni is just fighting these little zones here, but look at our entry. So with Uni, I want to track my stop loss under these zones. Uni now, I move it into profit. I take my stop loss down, I put it at 17.8, $18. I'm in profits. I'm allowing this to move. Because what I do see from Uni is I see the left shoulder, I see us making our way up there, the right shoulder, and then move. So when we get anywhere in these zones, I'm going to be looking and I'm going to be letting you guys know as well, I want to take a little bit of profits at these zones. But remember, you have made, from the Uni trades right now, you have made 36% profit. What's enough for you? This is something that I can't help you with. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can give you levels on where we're going to. Is 36% enough for you? Because remember, in 2 days' time, there's going to be new entries again. There's going to be new coins to buy. Don't fall in love. Take your money, diversify it, split into long-term, put some into cash, and start again. It's very simple, but you've made 36%. So understand that. So where we are sitting now, obviously, just before I go through, the total market cap is looking good. Same thing. I want the higher high for total market cap with Bitcoin. Looking at our alts, I'm not going to go over them too long. They're all sitting great. Kusama made its way. Strong push up Kusama. Remember the first goal. So Kusama's up 26%, guys. Brilliant. How much is enough for you? Take profits at any point. Leave some in for the longer thing, but take damn profits. Move your stop losses up to entry. Take profits. BNB. We had 2 entries on BNB. First entry is sitting at 18% profits. Second entry, we are sitting at 12% profits. Great. The one that's taking a little bit of time is VET. So VET's fine. VET is one that's taking time. So what I want to see is if there's a small pullback with Bitcoin now, my VET position, I'm looking to actually, it's showing me we broke support and we haven't broken through resistance. So I'm actually freeing up some cash on my VET right now, and I'm going to look to shift it to another one that's moving. When I put this alarm in play here, with VET, when that trend line is broken again and that alarm goes off, I'll be getting back into VET. For now, I'm freeing up some cash on VET. It's just not moving. Remember, we have to attempt, but if it's not doing what it needs to do, put this on your rule today, your rules as well today, guys. Put it in your structure book, okay? If the trade is not performing in the day or two that you're holding, take it out. Remember, we have made sure we haven't made losses. That's the big thing. Take it out now and let's move it to something that's going to move. When it's ready to go, it just means it's accumulating more. So don't hold the trade for too long. Remember, we want to make money. That's so simple. So VET is one that I'm pulling a little bit out now. I want to look at the next ones and see what's moving. ADA is good. We are still holding this trend. So any bounces between $1.35, $1.4, I'm topping up here, and I know my stop losses trail in these regions under this trend line. Very simple. Take your 8 hour, put your trend line, stop losses under the zone. Any touches there, I'm loading up little bit. Remember, ADA may take time, short time frame, but high time frame is massive bullish news. So any good little positions, I'm buying a little bit, putting it long term, buying a little bit, putting it long term. I'm not forcing it and just buying it anywhere. It needs to be at a bargain. So I put my alarm every time we get there, we buy. Guys, how's this? Brilliant. This is going to happen again. Be ready for this. Do you see why we take so damn long to learn? Because we get somewhere. And at some point, the whole damn alts, we have seen this many times. We have seen this many times, and we have seen that many times. There's the hard work. There's the result. So you understand what we're getting. So same with KCS now. Guys, this is good. This is huge. From where we got into our entries here, we're still sitting at 84% profits. Anywhere here, take damn profits. Take your money. If you want to leave some KCS for long term, then no problem. But you've doubled your money in 2 days. Take your profits now. Go buy your long-term coins. Fill some cash. Get ready for the next coins to come. But if a coin gives you 90%, take your profits definitely. Chainlink. Guys, this is a big one, especially for high time frame. Chainlink, the break of this, that's good. We're already breaking this horizontal. We've gotten a higher high in play. That's great. Now what I want to see, break, test, continuation. Test this horizontal, break the thing. So keep your alarm there. For the high time frame, I still see Link definitely getting to that zone. And if we see percentage-wise with Link, so this one can end up being a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week hold, but the result is good. 60, 70, 80% result, which is big. So Link, wait for the break of that. Our 4 hour is getting a little bit up. So let's get the break. Let's get the higher high. Let's buy that retest. The guys that are still in on Link, you're in profits. You're in good profits. You're in at least 10, 20% profits. What is enough for you? Remember, Link is still on my higher time. It's on my long-term portfolio as well. So Link, I'm making sure that also longer term, it's looking really, really good. I just want to see the break there. But for my short term, I've made 20% on Link. No problem. Now I take my 20% profit. I leave some of the Link for me. I send it to my long term. I fill my cash. I get ready for the next one. We were talking about Sushi yesterday. Sushi went just above, but you could see the power of understanding the normal, simple horizontal flips. So you can see this wick over here. So if I mark that out there, do you see how that wick is where we bounce to? So whenever we break a horizontal line to the upward side, remember this is steps. We want that's resistance. So when I break resistance, I want to make it support and continue the next one. You see, it's like stairs. So you see how I mark them out. That's how I want to pass. And what I do as well, track my momentum with the trend line. So where we're looking with Sushi, anywhere to still catch it in these zones are good. If you caught it yesterday, beautiful. Tighten up stop loss. We're going to ride as we go, but I'm still seeing Sushi $11, $13. You can see these alts have done nothing since this dump. We've seen green day for 3 days, guys. It's only this little section. What happens when the markets really start turning bullish? We can't say it's not, and we can't say that we are fully bullish. But what happens if it does happen? We need to be ready at all points. So Sushi is good. Let's have a look at Cake, where Cake's looking at. We had a beautiful test yesterday from Cake into our zone here as well. And you should be easily great profits. 10% already on Cake. Cake, I see another movement. Guys, do you see what I'm doing here now? And I want to explain this to you quickly. I'm giving you trades to make money. When you want to take the money and diversify, it is your choice. Remember, the act of trading is to make the quick money and diversify. That's all that it is. This is to make more money for you to fill your long term. It's very, very simple, very, very easy. I wouldn't say easy, but now you're learning. Stop loss, risk. You guys must decide when you're taking profits. I'm just making sure we get those entries. Let's get the charts going there again. There we go, Luna. Beautiful yesterday. Yesterday, breakout test. Look how it touched our line perfectly. There was your buy. All that it is, previous resistance and a trend line. That's all that you want to see. And where we're sitting right now, 20% up on Luna. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. SXP, we are still approaching. We come down anywhere with SXP. You can catch it 1.9 to $2. Great top up. Stop loss, 1.88. Crunch that stop loss because I still see SXP really lagging. SXP, if you get that buy, it's looking good because I see us filling that imbalance. So I see us getting anywhere to these zones. And this can all happen when Bitcoin makes its little breaks to the upward side. Remember, we're prepping bullish. We have a alarm bell. So I'm thinking bullish. Until my bearish line is crossed, I'm bullish. Remember, it's non-prediction. I just run off the strategy. So I still see 2.9 to 3.5. So SXP, anywhere in the zone, 46, 70%. Great trade on SXP. Atom again. Atoms pull down beautifully into a buy zone. We're doing our RS flip. 12.3, 12.7. Great add-on zones for Atom. I see $17, $20. You can see the percentage gains there. Solana, guys, this one is big. And I'm going to do this entry now quickly just to show you guys here. On this full trade, I'm going to buy in here. I got a little limit order. Let's see here. 34.8. I'm going to put this in to show you guys how we set this up. I want to buy 100% of my capital. Great. My target one. Let's go have a look. TP1, 42.4. So I'm going to go, yeah. Why is that not working? There we go. 42.4. Great. I want to take 60% profit there. I'm happy with. No. Let's 44. There we go. Okay. 60% profit. Great. Add that in. And the second TP, I'm looking at 46. Great. Solana's looking good. I'm very happy with Solana and where we're sitting. So Solana, I'm going in strong. You saw what Cheds said there. Any ones that react strong. There we go. Stop loss in play. Where do I want to put my stop loss? I want to pull it at 34.3 is where I want to put my stop loss. 34.3. What is it? Stop limit, stop market. There we go. Amount 100% in there. 34.3. There we go. So 1.4% risk. You can see the add, place my full trade. Done. Now I got my limit order in. My order goes through. We track that order. We put my stop loss in and put my TPs in place. So Solana, you can see I'm very bullish on, guys. Look at this. This is great. We are breaking our horizontal highs here. Everything is looking really strong for the push up to the 42 level to that. So at least a 16, 17 to a 30% trade coming here. And that's obviously depending on how bullish the market. If it turns a lot more bullish, it can go a lot more higher. But that's when you see that, the break of the trend, that's brilliant. Stop loss under previous low. AAVE, give a little bit more time. If we can catch it at 280, 285, great buy for AAVE. 1 inch again. Catch 1 inch, 2.6, 2.7. It's looking good. You can see my TPs. These are looking good. 3.8, 4.6. Ethereum, we haven't spoken much about Ethereum recently. So Ethereum, we all got our great buys in at $2,000 to $2,100 region. At least a good 10, 15%. And you can see, just track it as we go. And I know now that a good stop loss now should be sitting under this low at about 2,120 in that level. When we get to these levels, I'm going to take for my short term, I'm going to take some profits. So 2,600 to 2,800, I'm going to take some profits in this area and fill up my long terms. Now, the new ones that I want to show you guys today quickly is band protocol. This isn't, you don't go absolutely berserk. You know, this is I wouldn't say it's a smaller cap coin, but you know, this is a good short term. It's not long term. You know, I have a little bit of band long term, but short term to make good money is looking good. So if I can catch it now, anywhere now between 5.6 and $6, great buy for band because you can see how much imbalance is sitting in these zones. Look at these areas over here. So push up to that is a big trade for me because that's a good 100%, 120%. And that's not even looking at things bullish on higher time frames. So if I can catch it anywhere, $5.5, $6, that's great. And my stop loss will be at 5.2, 5.3. Another one, it's up to you what's in your long term. You can decide that. But chart-wise, Bitcoin Cash is looking good. Bitcoin Cash is looking good. If you can catch it between 510, 525 in that zone is really good. Stop loss at 500. So where we are sitting as good because I see it making its way up to 615 and these zones. So percentage-wise, Bitcoin Cash, 17 to a 45%. And that is not even looking at all of those huge imbalance areas that are up here. Right now, the entries are looking good. Guys, we have done nothing. We've seen a little bit of greenness, and that's all that it is over there. Having a look here. Ocean, next one. Ocean 8 hour is in zone now, and it's looking good. Anywhere 45 cents to 47 cents. Great. Stop loss 43.5, 44 in that zone. But you can see here, my TPs, 61 cents, 80 cents, and we have all these imbalance zones. Remember, we are catching these things. If Bitcoin goes to 42, 45, and that dominance goes low, guys, we are going to have an alt pump, and we need to make sure that we are ready. So I'm stocking up, crunching up. Bitcoin goes anywhere near 30,000 or 33,000, sorry, I'll just crunch up my stop losses. We know that's a make or break area, but I also know it's a bounce area. So I'm not afraid to get any of these. And the last ones I want to show you guys is YFI. So YFI, I'm looking at a small pullback that will take us now just to come test. So remember, we have all of these previous resistance points. I just want to see that flip. We touched it quick, but I do think it can make its way there again because there's a little left head, can be the head, can be a shoulder, and the breakouts. So if you can catch YFI between 33,800 and 35,700, anywhere in that zone is a good top-up zone for YFI. Remember, don't chase the pump now. Get it as low in that zone. You want to make sure it's on special. So now I've given you guys 20 coins. We have so many damn coins. Guys, the ones that are, what I call it, structured and well, the ones that are placed the best, meaning that you know where to put your stop loss, it makes sense why you're buying there, is the trades that you take. So I've given you 20, 15 can hit the zones. The other 5 take their time. We can see the ones like we just spoke about now, VET. Taking its time. Okay, cool. So I'm going to move to another one. We'll come back to VET when it's ready. But the main thing is you understand what we're looking for. You know where to put your stop loss. You know where to take profits. So a lot of alt calls. We need Bitcoin to get above 36. Let's share the love. Let's get Bitcoin back to where it needs to be. Dominance is weak and the alts are performing. So guys, put your stop loss. Take profits. We've made profits on nearly all of the damn trades. We only had 2 or 3 of the ones that just haven't done what we needed them to do, but the rest have all made damn good profits. Take profits, because remember, in 2 days' time, there's going to be new entries again, and there's going to be new entries. There's a lot to still come. Don't be afraid to take any profits now, because look at the climb that we still have to recover from. So this makes sense over a long time. Look how much money we can make as we make our way up there, and we can fill that long term, fill that long term, fill that long term. The difference is this time, when we go into the next bull cycle, we are going to be educated. And that's the big thing. We're going to keep a hell of a lot more money than what we did the previous one. So from my side, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, show some love, and I will see you all tomorrow.